Wildfires impact many aspects of life and our planet, both positively and negatively. Although these fires are essential to many of the world's ecosystems as they can help to stimulate new growth in forests, they have several negative impacts. One of these impacts concerns the large emissions of greenhouse gases that are emitted, such as carbon dioxide and methane that are produced by the combustion of vegetation and organic matter. They also impact soil health and adversely affect our air and water quality, as well as pose an immense threat to those living in the fire's path. For British Columbia, the wildfire season in 2023 was the most destructive in BC's recorded history. It resulted in more than 2.84 million hectares of forest and land burned, tens of thousands of people were forced to evacuate their homes, hundreds of structures and homes were destroyed and damaged, there were significant impacts to local cultural values, ecological values, and local economies and infrastructure, as well as unquantifiable impacts to many people's health and well-being. Why are BC's wildfires so bad? Well, to answer that question, let's take a look at a few of the risks and factors associated with the fires.
While the wildfires are not a direct result of climate change, there are several factors that further contribute to the risk of fires. These factors include the increased annual average in temperatures, which is resulting in warmer and drier summers, higher rates of extreme heat events and heat waves, and an earlier snow melt due to warmer spring and winter temperatures. The drier conditions and warmer temperatures threaten to dry significant amounts of ground vegetations on the forest bed, which increases the potential burnable material the fire can access. The burnt vegetation laying on the floor of the forest may decay, and especially concerning is the decay in root structure, as it will decrease soil strength. A result of this is a potential for slope failures and mass movements if exposed to heavy precipitation, which may cause devastating effects on local communities and infrastructure.
Another concern of the increase in the BC wildfire frequency includes one of its byproducts, carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas. Beside its contribution to climate change, the emissions and ash released by the fires can travel significant distances carried by various wind currents, which means even communities that are not prone to fires can still be impacted. The CO2 emissions and the produced smoke can significantly increase the concentration of particles in the atmosphere for weeks and months, as it did in 2017's wildfire season, when Metro Vancouver's air quality was equivalent to smoking 7 cigarettes a day. Ash also carries various toxins and compounds, which if inhaled or introduced into a water body or water supply, can negatively affect the health of animals and human lives, both directly and indirectly.
Another risk the increase in wildfires poses is what happens to some forest soils after exposure to significant burning, that being water repellency. Various chemical changes result in the formation of a waxy and partially hydrophobic layer in the soil. These layers have low capacity for retaining and absorbing water, which can lead to increasing erosion and higher overland flow volume, increasing the risk of flooding.
The mountain pine beetle is another significant concern, as the increasing temperatures brought about by climate change have resulted in a much wider habitable area for the beetles. The beetles damage forests by killing trees by introducing sickness and disease to them, and these dead and damaged trees act as further fuel for the fires. Most wildfires in BC are started by lightning strikes, which causes approximately 60% of British Columbia's wildfires, and the other 40% is caused by human activity. Although these natural lightning-caused fires cannot be prevented, there are methods for predicting where they could begin, and damage could be mitigated by utilizing effective fuel management and certain prescribed burning methods. In fact, a major study from 2014 predicted about a 12% increase in thunderstorms for every degree of rise in global average air temperature. This is made especially concerning as the global average temperature continues to increase, so will both the frequency and intensity of precipitation and other extreme weather events. The increase in temperature means warmer air, which can hold more moisture than colder air, may result in an increasing number of thunderstorms yearly, and thus the frequency of potential lightning-caused fires in BC. All of these factors are posing increasing risks to British Columbia's forests as climate change continues, and with the total cost of the 2023-24 season estimated at $966 million by the BC government, it can only be expected that future years will see a continual increase in yearly costs on average. As climate change intensifies, more fire activity is inevitable. In considering the immense impacts the wildfires have on our environments and communities, it is something that cannot be ignored unless we wish to continue seeing significant areas of our incredible country devastated.